Betaville is a massively participatory online world editor platform designed specifically for collaborative iteration and development of ideas, new ideas for public art, urban design, and planning.
We started working on Betaville knowing that we wanted to show buildings in 3D space and that we wanted them to change over time.
And what we were interested in was new applications that could help the cultural and public sectors more effectively engage and provide a vehicle for direct participation of local communities in decisions about changes to their physical environment, which of course always have an impact and for which the current participatory mechanisms aren't entirely satisfactory.
Through working on this, we've also had to study GIS programs and how they work because Betaville really isn't anything if you can't put the models in exactly the right spot and allow people to move them to exactly a different spot, to a totally different spot. So managing locations and having an accurate, understandable coordinate system within the 3D scene was something that isn't usually on the top list of game designers, but was a big thing for Betaville.
All of this, of course, within this open source protocol, as well as supported by open source tools, that can be running on an ongoing basis between an artist and a local set of stakeholders, or between a planning commission and a community association, where that community association can have been, in the spirit of creative play and social engagement with one another, been thinking these things through and coming to a local consensus over time at, without all of the overhead associated with having to hire architects and engineers and planners to use very expensive stuff at, hundreds of dollars an hour, so that the due diligence and the creative play phases, the pre-design process can already be a wholesome and ongoing, mature part of the local culture, which is what you need in order for good decisions to get made and carried out, whether it's for where to put a new work of art and what kind of a work of art that ought to be, to green space or networks of green space, or larger infrastructural questions, because it turns out that a lot of people working for those entities that have been doing this in these conventional ways that make everybody crazy, a lot of them would like to be working with the people who are going to be stuck with the consequences, and we're making a way for that to really work. The idea was reasonably straightforward, and that was to make a thing like a massively multiplayer online game in which people could propose new ideas in the form of models of those ideas in their appropriate physical context, which is to say an already built out game environment which represents accurately the current form of the city. And of course, for this thing to be effective, it would have to be readily accessible through a web browser, or the equivalent, so to speak. It would have to provide for an easy workflow between having the idea, populating the space with the idea, and then an ongoing ad hoc way for people, stakeholders, local, official, and otherwise, to be able to engage with minimal overhead in the kind of late night kibitzing, when you have a chance, thinking about it, talking about it, offering ideas, offering solutions that are part and parcel of the cultural habits, etiquette, and protocol of open source software.
I love it. It's fun.